Blog Talk Radio. And so it came to pass. And so it came to pass that the first to last was the first to die. And from this act of triple stage darkness emerged the crack rock.
I do that crank rock, I make that hip hop, I make your jaw drop, break the bank and make it high. You just a has-been, who is now a has-not. You cannot stop it, you might as well jock this while I do it.
I do it cause you want it, cause I do it. I think it when I speak it, get wet by the way I freak it. What first is coming off, I feel it's locked it down. Bringing that crank rock, hailing from Brooklyn town.
Sure when you come and bring a 50 grand, ready to put it in my hand. Put it up and they plan on how to make another 100, man. Brother, understand. Indeed, if I was a better man, I'd let you know about the white man master plan. But my people freaking, man. Super coke and tweaking, man. Keeping purple in the church while they pastor steady preaching, man. They rhymes be bland with no flavor in them jam. And I'm down for the plan for the black man walking. So however, my raps are too clever. Blacker than black leather, whatever. So weather, I'm better than ever. Remember the time when we cared about our rhymes. I'm here to remind us of what we left behind. To this crank I do that crank rock, I make that hip hop, I make your jaw drop, break the bank and make it high. You just a has-been, who is now a has-not. You cannot stop it, you might as well jock this while I do it.
I do it cause you want it, cause I do it. I think it when I speak it, wet by the way I freak it. What first is coming off, I feel it's locked it down. Bringing that crank rock, hailing from Brooklyn town.
So what you need, what you want, how much you gon' spend, how much you gon' loan, how much you gon' keep, how much you gon' tell me to speak just those are my underdog. Nigga, she ain't done nothing I ain't seen before. If you took away the body with the beauty show, I don't think so, so show the dough. I don't got time for dimes with no glow, don't got time for rhymes with no soul. Find out like a lonely one-woman show. Scared to be a hoe when your daddy a pimp. Always had a good year without the blend. Give you Michael Limp, pretty rhyme is splint. Coming from the east, but my name ain't Clint. You want something new, then you found it. Cause you feel good when you round it. Cause I do it
cause you want it, cause I do it. I think it when I speak it, get wet by the way I freak it. What first is coming off, I feel it's locked it down. Bringing that crank rock, hailing from Brooklyn town.
I do that crank rock, I make that hip hop, I make your jaw drop, break the bank and make it high. You just a has-been, who is now a has-not. You cannot stop it, you might as well jock this while I do it.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Aseer with my brother and co-host, Sagasad Ali. You've now tuned into another episode of Super Heru Radio. What's up, homie?
What's going on, my G?
Alright. Another day, man. Another week. Shit is always going on. You know? How you been this week, man?
It's been kind of, hectic, but for the most part, I can't complain, For the most part, I can't complain. Everything, for the most part, has been pretty cool and collected, just taking the time out to, let everything do what it do.
All right, it's a little warm in the Beast of NY this week.
Oh, yeah. So warm that, the guns is coming out now.
Niggas are welcome to spring with gun clapping, that's what you're saying?
Yeah, it gets warm, you know what I'm saying? People want to bring the guns out and shoot spots and all that. People getting shot up, they had a big thing in Times Square, Easter Sunday, 4 people got shot up out there, so.
What?
Yeah. Like, consecutively right after each other. Like, the police will go to one spot, this dude got shot, and then they'll hear shots up the block, and then this next person got shot, and he got shots down the block. Like, you know, all in the Times Square area, 4 people got shot within like 30 to 45 minutes.
What? That sounds like a ritual to me. Was it original people or square people?
All original people, funny enough.
Word. All original people got shot up. Okay. No clear people got hit.
Nah.
Yeah, that's odd. Sounds vaguely familiar, you know. Let me ask you this. When it's hot out, right, it was kind of warm up there, right?
Yeah.
Was the sun out, though?
Funny enough, like...
No, right?
Not exactly. Not really. Like, it'll, like, the sun will be peaking, like, around 12, and then it'll just be overcast. You know what I'm saying? And it'll just be warm.
It's like a perpetual overcast that just don't break through shit, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It makes the sun look real glary, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I've been reading this information from a certain source, and they were talking about this thing that they call canopies, which basically is the artificial ionization of the clouds, of the cumulus clouds and shit above a certain area that then acts as almost like a roof or barrier between the sun and, you know, the people and shit. So all of the sunlight basically is bombarding these clouds that have been grouped together based on the ionization and hardening of the atmosphere in that area, that one particular area. And then what happens is a lot of the solar heat that actually does get through is not the amount of the barely suggested dose of sunlight that people are supposed to get, you know. That's why I asked if it was like sunny and hot, but at least, you know, if the sun was out. Because a lot of times the residual heat that's coming off of these clouds is basically heat that's amplified by whatever chemtrail or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that they be going in on with. So, you know, sometimes I'll really want these motherfuckers to, you know, surprise a nigga, you know, but it's like they consistently do the same BS, you know?
Yep.
Well,
that's their MO.
Speaking of WAP, we talked about last week how the HARP thing is just into overdrive now. It's like these niggas can't turn it off. It seems like every other minute these niggas are trying to set off some shit. So the latest one was a 7.2 in Mexico, on the Mexican-U.S. border.
Mm-hmm.
But see, to me, for those people that don't know, that's not in the know, Mexico is basically a governmentless country right now. The cartels have totally, you know, turned that shit into man on fire. Like, it's next level in terms of the killing and the kidnapping and the beheadings. Like, there's a whole rash of beheadings going on out there. And these people are not just flipping on regular Mexicans. No, all of this stuff is targeted to Americans. But again, they've been telling Americans that this is what's coming from when they did that movie Touristas. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And then they did that movie The Ruins.
Yep.
Yeah, they did that movie The Ruins. And they did Man on Fire. Like, they've been telling you that Mexico is a no-fly zone right now for Americans in terms of what's going on. But this is also tied into the 2012 thing. You know, they want to make it real hot so that way nobody can go down to places like Veracruz or La Venta or, you know, Machu Picchu or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Tehuantepec or, you know, Temple of the Sun. They don't want nobody to go there. You know, when 2012 pops, so they figure they'll get all the degenerate Mexicans to, you know, turn the whole country into like almost like a giant rape camp, you know.
Kidnapping.
That's what that's what I think the earthquake was really about. So I think they hit them niggas over there because they beheaded 5 American diplomats from the U.S. Embassy out there. Yikes. To the point where the cartel niggas is actually getting dossiers on American tourists and everything from the moles and the travel agencies, as well as in the Mexican liaison government. And they are selling that information, you know, to rich tourists or whatever to the cartels, and then the cartels are then going and kidnapping and killing and beheading these people or whatever, and most of them is Americans.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Americans want to act like they got the whole shit locked down and ain't nobody can do nothing to their citizens, but this is all a part of the North American Union thing, you know, as well. So if you travel to Mexico, you know, I suggest you don't, because right now it's popping.
Yeah.
And, you know,
we were on TV talking about that. He was like, don't come down here for spring break. They looking for Americans. They looking to kill y'all. They'll do a form as you do in the hotels.
Oh, word?
Yeah, he was like, yo, don't come down here. They looking to kidnap y'all. They looking to kill y'all. Don't go to all the tourist spots. You know what I'm saying? Don't come down. Don't send your kids down here for spring break.
Yeah, they found 2 people beheaded in Acapulco. You know what I'm saying? Like, this thing is real serious, to the point that because the Mexican government can't control these people, you know what I'm saying, the cartels is basically literally moving in. But we also saw this going down in the movie Once Upon a Time in Mexico, which was a part 2 of the Desperado, remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, with
Johnny Depp. With Johnny Depp, yeah. That nigga is in that shit. And that whole movie was basically about the Illuminati using the cartels to destroy the government, you know, and doing their thing. So, you know, again, those people that are also our Mexican brothers and sisters that may or may not be listening, man, y'all got to figure out a way to hold down your country, man, because this shit is getting to the point where, you know, you're really not going to be in this position to actually, it's like they're going to turn it into a wasteland almost. You know what I'm saying? And then they moving this thing further up into California. Like, they literally driving up to motherfuckers' crib. Like, if they found out, there was one instance where they found that family was planning a trip and everything to go out there. These niggas got the family's information, drove up across the border, because the family's crib was, like, not too far away from the border or whatever. And they drove up into the United States before these niggas got into Mexico, kidnapped these niggas, the family, and drove them back into Mexico.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Before they even got on the plane. It's like niggas, it's like if they find out that you booking tickets and over there. You know what I mean? They ready to get it in on you. So, yeah. So really be careful. But this is what the United States get for shitting on the Mexicans, man. You can't be shitting on them. And it's specifically like in California. But them whiteys, them Mexicans, like, you know, slave class out there, and worse than us, almost. You know? So you reap what you sow, you pay what you owe, man.
Yep.
You know?
Definitely a word to the wise.
Word, you know? Also, your man, in Spanish-speaking news, your man Putin is visiting your man Chavez. Visited him on Astarte. For those people that don't know, Easter comes from the word Astarte. Astarte is another word for Ishtar, and Ishtar is another word for Semiramis, and Semiramis is another word for Isis. Isis is another word for Set, so really you're practicing a Comesian holiday with a satanic twist if you still following the whole Easter thing. But Putin, my wife said, isn't it really about Jesus' resurrection? And I'm like, yeah, it is if you're brain dead, you know. But,
it was about eggs and candy.
Well, yeah, you know, most kids think it's about the chocolate Easter bunny that rises from the tomb of Jesus and lays golden eggs around the crib to get everybody to go find them, so that way they could plant them for Christmas. So they could plant their eggs in the ground so they could grow up to be Christmas trees. You know, but again, Putin has visited Chavez, and they are basically working on getting the Soviet Union to back the newly burgeoning Latin American Union that's coming up. The South American Union that's coming up, which the United States people are not really happy about. You know, they're really not happy about that. But, you know, that's what they get.
At the same time, the U.S. is pumping all the Afghan heroin into Russia.
Yeah. Yep, that's true too. The Afghan heroin. And the funny thing is, when you do the statistics, the logistical reports on that, you read the United States government puts out this thing called a comprehensive foreign analysis report that is actually funneled through the public organization they call the CFR. And when you read those reports, going back maybe to 2002, right before 9/11, actually, excuse me, you'll see that when the Taliban took over the United States, took over Afghanistan after the Soviet occupation, the Taliban actually destroyed 99% of all of the so-called poppy fields and stuff that was out there. Like opium and heroin production was ground to a standstill in the Mideast during that period. If anybody gets the movie Charlie Wilson's War, you'll see the lead up to the Taliban taking control of the country again. But it wasn't until 2001 that the United States went up into Afghanistan and basically started waging war against the same people that they funded against the Soviets, a.k.a. the Taliban, to then go in there and take over the poppy fields. You know, they installed Harvey Karzai, who is the president of Afghanistan, who just so happened to also be the president of Zapata Oil at one time, which is the George Bush and them family. He's the president of that. He just so happened to be the president now of Afghanistan. You know, right after the last president of Afghanistan allegedly wound up dead. So when that went down, this guy Karzai winds up taking over, and now opium production is up to 100%. You know, so people should really do the knowledge that the Taliban ain't what they tell you it is, number one, and number two, the Taliban is actually another version, just like Al Jazeera, just like what's the other one? Hamas. That's what they call them.
Hamas.
And isn't there another one?
In Lebanon.
Al Qaeda.
Oh,
and Al Qaeda. So Hamas, Al Qaeda, Taliban is all the same thing. Basically, what that is the Arab CIA. You know, essentially is what all of those organizations are, because they were all funded and trained by these people during the Cold War of the Soviets. So we really need to, you know, remember that and keep it real, you know, and understand that the so-called United States government has totally implicit in the drug trafficking. Anybody can go and research them getting busted, the CIA getting busted for selling crack and bringing crack to the hood. Ain't nobody in the so-called black leadership still stepped into the government on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what these niggas is talking about legalizing weed in California. So, you know.
Same time they locked up Ricky Ross with all the Iran-Contra.
That's right. That's right. Who's actually running the cocaine for all of them people.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Freeway Ricky Ross, not the fat Biggie Smalls lookalike. We talking about the real Rick Ross, who was moving major weight and basically was complicit in the destruction of the last 7 generations of black people. Yeah, to this day. You know,
they still have people out there, you know, just trying to get back on this, got caught up in that whole thing, you know, getting hooked on the drugs and whatnot.
Indeed, you know what I'm saying? So we really should do now. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, the brother's an evil brother. I'm just saying that, you know, he did contribute to, you know, the mass mutilation of our people. But there's a certain aspect in the black community that respects drug dealers on that level. You know what I mean? We got to figure out and look within ourselves and wonder why people like Nino Brown and these niggas that was in Scarface and these people are like our role models. You know, why we still wearing Scarface T-shirts and still, you know, making references to New Jack City and shit. Like, come on, man. That's not even niggas' era. You know what I mean? Like, New Jack City was like my era. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. This is a whole other thing going on, you know. Also, your man, Barry Barack, the so-called president of the United States, is under fire now based on his health care thing, because everybody's now saying it's totally against the Constitution and he had a right to do none of this shit. But guess what? He didn't have the right to shut down the auto industry. He didn't have the right to bail out the bankers. He didn't have the right to, you know what I mean? To
he increased
really
the wire
shut down Guantanamo Bay. Yup. He didn't do that. But what the nigga did do was come out and name June LGBT month, which is lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual month. You know what I'm saying? And put out a national referendum that's basically going to be like a holiday. So, like, by 2012, you're going to have a bunch of gay people, you know, selling, like, Gay Day. You see what I'm saying? But you think that nigga would come out and say, hey, I'm going to put out a national referendum against police brutality? Hell no.
Nah.
Hey, I'm going to put up a national inquiry panel to find out, you know, the level of disparaging drug abuse, you know, based on what the CIA was complicit to. Oh, you sent it? Good.
Nah.
Oh, I thought it was enough. All of that, you know what I'm saying? So this is what I mean. You know, this guy is constantly working against the original people of the planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? And you black people who decided to vote for him, you know, to the point where there's a doctor right now in the Midwest who's refusing any patients that voted for Obama.
Yep.
He said, yo,
hey, go get Obama, go elsewhere.
Go get it for somewhere else. And I don't blame him. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, we original people who voted for this dude based on, you know, the what's the right word? The euphoria that this motherfucker that surrounded this guy coming in. And because people wasn't looking at the spiritual aspect of it and just looking at him, you know, giving, it's like niggas thought that he was just going to give everybody fried chicken or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he get in, like, fried chicken free for all black people, some shit. Like, it's like people was looking at this guy like he's the most high, man. And all he is a figurehead. Symbolically, on a spiritual level, we already got into what he represented. But materialistically, he's a piece of shit. And come on, man. Keep it real. To the point the new rumors is going around why Gucci be going to jail so much is because remember when Gucci came out and said that Jay-Z wasn't the best rapper?
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He came out on a mixtape and he blew it up. He said, question number one, Jay-Z's the best rapper in hip-hop. He said, that's a damn lie. A week after that, Jay-Z was chilling with Obama, right? Him and Trey Songz and him with Obama. And then the day after that, Gucci wound up in jail again. Now everybody know that Young Jeezy was complicit in the snitching and the incarceration of
BMF.
Yep, the BMF. You know what I'm saying? And we all know that he put the hit out on Gucci, but because Gucci, you know, I guess is a G, you know, he capped two of them niggas and was able to get out, which then raised his myth, you know what I'm saying, and turned him into a mythic, iconic status, you know. And now, you know, Jeezy's on the way down, Gucci on the way up, but it just so happened now Gucci back in jail. So again, to me, this is that whole thing. Matter of fact, yo, there's a thing on a YouTube. People should check it out. Some brother put it out. It says the heading is Jay-Z and Young Jeezy 33rd Degree Mason. Go see that video. It's the homie, and it's a rap song. The dude wrote a rap song about the whole shit. He was a part of BMF, and he came out and dropped the whole shit on it. So people should check that out. It's real good. It's funny too. But yeah, these dudes are snitches. And so coincidentally, we were talking on, I think, maybe the 5th show about the different entities, you know, Young and Lil, and these things that these rappers use. And I forgot to tell you, right after that, Jeezy put out a statement that he don't want to be called Young Jeezy no more. Just want to be Jeezy now. At the same time, Beyonce said that she don't want to be Sasha Fierce no more. She just wants people to look at her as one person now. Why all of a sudden, bitch? Why all of a sudden, bitch? What made you want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
After building up on it.
Yeah, you don't spend all, you know how much money Sasha Fierce made for the white man? You think he gonna just let you stop being her, nigga? Are you crazy? Like, you crazy?
But that's true. All of them are taking those names away.
Yeah.
Because
we done exposed them. Because we done exposed them. And nobody want to give the metaphysical community, original communities, the respect that it deserves, because we have now in the conscious game there's what my brother and I refer to as the syndicate. There's an unseen syndicate, you know what I mean, specifically around the East Coast area, that if you're a person that's trying to get certain knowledge, you know what I mean, wisdom and understanding to the people, you know, you got to almost get permission for the syndicate. If not, you know, you get YouTube tapes and stuff made about you and all types of other shit, you know what I mean, to discourage the people from doing the knowledge. But the people have to get to the point where they stop tolerating the bullshit, you know? Yeah. Because there's room for everybody that's kicking shit for real, that's really about the upliftment and the ascension of the organic people. Yet, the syndicate has created a situation where it's okay to regurgitate other people's information, and it's okay to not study, you know what I mean, or read books. Now it's more about, you know, analyzing niggas' YouTube clips and creating shit and things around that, which, again, just like in hip-hop, that shit is biting, you know what I mean? Like it used to be in rap, to talking about it being that the syndicate is trying to turn the conscious metaphysical community into, you know, the satanic hip-hop industry. It used to be you could remake somebody else's song. You could get somebody else's lyric in your joint without the person being there with you. Now shit is all good. But because weak people with no creativity, they've created trigger words to deal with people like us who see through the hypocrisy of that. Words like hater, you know what I'm saying? Words like or nomenclatures like hater or what's another slang term that these niggas use to hide their bullshit? I'm doing me, you know what I mean? Let you know, let me live. All of these fake terms, like you don't want to see me eat, like all of these terms are always being employed. If you really do the knowledge, they most of the times are being employed by the people with the least creativity. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, people, yeah, and I mean, again, we all learn from each other or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But, again, if you're getting up before the people and you talking to the people as if they have certain understanding that you have certain answers that they may be looking for, specifically about the black family and this and that, and you ain't taking care of your family, or niggas never see you with your family, or you'd rather be, you know, in a cipher with a bunch of dudes, you know what I'm saying, while, you know, your queen or whoever else is in the crib, then, again, man, you're fronting, you know what I'm saying, and all charlatans get revealed, and now is not the time to be fronting, man. I'm telling you. Oh, indeed, you know, it's not the time to be creating with all the Saturn and Libra and you know, Saturn, Libra, and Jupiter and Pisces shit. Anybody that's fronting about anything dealing with the ancestors is being revealed early. Early. How long ago Phil Valentine came out and said that Ray Hagan was an agent? Nobody was listening, right? But what did it take? It took somebody else to come based on the fact that he came in, as to how he came in the game, you know what I'm saying, to drop that this dude is now a physical agent. But guess what? Niggas is still going to lectures of his. You know what I'm saying? People still inviting him to do lectures, to speak to the people. So is it about information? Is it about making money? Is it about controlling the people? Is it about leading the people to destruction? It's about all of that to me, you know. You know, whether niggas believe they're part of it or not, you And this is also we should do acknowledge. People should know to start doing internal tests of themselves to find out if they're down with the syndicate or not. You know what I mean? The way that you know that you are is if you one of these people who participate in futile debates about concepts that are not relevant. I mean, these people are all like conscious. If you're one of these people that's watching certain people based on how they act or based on how they look, you know what I'm saying? All of those things have nothing to this thing is really about, man. And again, I ain't the king in none of this movement or nothing. I just have seen it. And from the beginning of the deterioration of this thing, from the time that Barry got in office to now, we've been saying the same shit. We've been building on the same shit. So, niggas can get mad or whatever, but again, anybody got any problems with what I'm saying or what my brother's saying, we have a website, we have an email. You don't need to make videotapes. You don't need to make YouTube clips. You don't need to do nothing. You can call me directly. Because everything that I'm saying right now, my brother's saying right now, I done said to members of the syndicate. So they know. So, again, in order for us to truly get out of the muck and the mire that we in, we have to stop investing energy and time and resources and money and expectations into people who really don't even know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Niggas who don't even read books is straight up doing whole lectures now, G. You know what I'm saying? Reading articles and excerpts and shit, and always getting other people to be, is all of that is different than actually being a researcher, being able to sit down in a room for more than 7 hours a day for over 15 years going in on shit. That's why I don't feel nobody could tell me nothing based on, dealing with what I know. You know what I mean? Same thing with you, homie. Like, can't nobody tell you, what South America or whatever is like, because you've been there. You get what I'm saying? So, again, this is what I mean, man. We got to get to the point where we as a people, we stop investing energy into shit that we don't need, man, because it's killing us. And we, up until the point that this guy got in office, the movement was going somewhere, yo. People were inspired, and I've seen it, So in watching what it's become now, it's like, y'all niggas can have that shit up there, yo. You know what I mean? Because that shit has nothing to do with reality. You got a bunch of niggas that's now turning this thing into the WWE, man. Literally becoming clones, Like you have people that literally become clones of other people now. And this is not just I'm talking about the syndicate. I'm talking about also in people's everyday lives, yo. People in everyday life, yo. You gotta really watch. You gotta really, really watch who and what you're building on. Because you can be around people who have a certain idea with you, and you think that they're your friends and all of that. But at the same token, what's going on is that these dudes are just around you because they're trying to figure out how to become you. You understand? Get a movie that's out right now called The Perfect Getaway. Get another movie, Single White Female. Get another movie called The Skeleton Key. Get another movie called
Gattaca.
Stoned. Exactly. Gattaca too. Stone though as well. The story of Brian Jones. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain degree of, you got to understand, man, when it comes, as men and women, when it comes to a certain degree of conflict, it gets to a point where if nothing is being resolved but the conflict is still persisting, and that means that there's some sort of eroticism and there's some sort of erotic energy being displayed between the two people in the head. And how can we show and prove this? When we were little children, and you like the girl and she like you and she would hit you, the first thing you do is chase each other. Or the girl that you like the most be the one that you tease the most. You know what I'm saying? Or the guy that you want to get with, you act like you don't want to be with him so that way he can stress you. You see? All of this behavior does not change when niggas get knowledge. It actually gets worse because what happens is people begin to fool themselves and be thinking that they're smarter than they really are. It's called displacement in clinical terms. Another term is called dissociation. You know what I mean? Another term of that, now, when you confront these people on stuff like that and you start building with them on it, what they will, first thing they'll begin to do is try to turn it on you. That is called transference. See what I'm saying? All of these symptoms that we're talking about are evidence of the fact that if these things are happening to you, that means that somebody's trying to clone themselves into you. If you ever around somebody who don't want you to meet their other friends, but they always want to be around you and meet other people that know you, and then once they know you, they start being cool with the other people, and then you can't be cool with the person you introduced them to, that's because the person is trying to become you in the cipher, and they can't be you if you're there too. Say that again, brother. He's a little muffled.
We can't occupy the same.
Exactly. This type of shit is rampant, specifically in the metaphysical community right now. You know what I'm saying? And brothers and sisters that's really earnest and really sincere about trying to get knowledge is really, really getting assaulted by clones. You know what I'm saying? Clones of everybody. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even just talking about just me. I'm talking about like everybody, yo. Everybody seems like a lot of people clone themselves of each other, and this is what allows me to think that that the syndicate is being manipulated by a grander, let's say, conglomerate that's organizing the shit. Which is why certain people move up and certain people don't. Just like in hip hop, just like everything else. It's just that this is the first time I think, at least on Super Heru Radio, we are actively pursuing the impetus of this phenomenon, because it's really creating a situation where somebody or a group of people is leading it in a direction that it was not supposed to go. Mm-hmm. You know, because none of us are really in control of anything. You know what I mean? Especially knowledge, you know. Mm-hmm. But there's also a lot of things that go on in the metaphysical conscious aware community that we got to deal with. Things like ageism, things like sexism, things like classism that's being perpetuated by people with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. People who are supposed to be out here doing cultural events and shit like that. You know what I mean? You got dudes that's trying to create, you know, Moorish movements and everything, and they ain't filed no paperwork. They ain't never been in no Moorish meeting. Niggas don't even have a fez. You know what I'm saying? And they telling people about Moorish history and shit. You got brothers who are you know, so-called into the African aspect of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Ain't never been to Africa. Ain't never been, don't even know no damn Africans. Mm-hmm. But they the first one to tell you, yeah, we all got to go back and we got to do it over there. Anybody that's obsessed with one geographical location, knowing damn well that we ran the whole world, is an idiot. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. How you gonna be caught up? That's like you paying rent, $2,000 rent for a condo, but you only living in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ill. Like, this actual documents from people like Abu Bakari from the 1300s, people like Kankan Musa, people like Mansa Musa, people like Achibe, you know, a lot of different people who tell you that when everything was connected, anything west of Mali was Africa. So that means America and everything else. But these niggas still acting like, you know, the geographic place of Africa is what it's about. And it's not, man. One of the biggest secrets in the Moorish Adept Chamber is that when you really talk about the Moorish Science Temple, we're not talking about a specific MST of A. We're talking about the Moorish Science that is within your temple. You know what I'm saying? Not the physical location. And this is not to say that the Moorish Science Temple is a problem or anything like that. I'm just saying that the true adepts know that the kingdom of God is within, man. If you niggas is constantly going to somebody to tell you what to do, and then you looking for a leader, man, you're going to be misled, because the syndicate is too deep now, you know? And again, to me, it seemed like, me and my brother was talking, it seemed like this whole thing is leading to the point where somebody want to get clapped. And it ain't going to be me or him. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be us, G. But, again, remember, because of a lot of times, too, a lot of people don't like to give, when you come into this knowledge and you happen to be younger than 50 or younger than, 65 or some shit, niggas don't, or 45, niggas really try to talk to you like you don't have no common sense.
Mm-hmm.
But age, you know what I'm saying, does not equate wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Age equates experience. Wisdom is something that is learned, which is a reflection of your knowledge, which then adds on to your understanding, which overstands your culture. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, we talking about real shit. We talking about the things that our babies is being raised up on, man. We got niggas that still out here trying to get brothers and sisters to, literally work with the government. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, like, keep it real, like, like niggas talk shit and everything, and I'll be listening to certain things that people tell me, what other people have told them. And what I find most funny of it all is that everybody feel that their movement got the ultimate answer. You know what I mean? But what the white boy do is he accepts all of it, man. He don't give a damn what you are. So long as he know what it is, he'll let you rock with that because he know that he could use that to turn you against the next nigga because the next nigga think his shit is the shit.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you got a bunch of dudes. I mean, come on, man. Leave the, debates. Again, debates are for issues that are dealing with political agendas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you debate, you go to Harvard and things like that. That's where you go to debate, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
The cracker don't debate nothing when it comes to original people, man. The cracker's about killing everybody.
Yeah.
But these niggas want to debate on whether or not the Muslims should be killed first, or the Kemites should be killed first, or the Moors need to get killed first, or the Black Power militants need to get killed. Come on, man. You think gang members give a fuck about that? Nope. Niggas are like, you wearing red, I'm clapping you. You wearing blue, I'm clapping you. That's it. And the ill shit is that the gangs is going to be America's last hope.
Yep.
The gangs is America's last hope. They are even iller than the militias. These niggas have been practicing for years killing each other. So you think when it go down for the cracker, these niggas ain't going to go in? The only reason why there ain't no mass gang attack on America right now is because America has adopted gang culture.
Yeah.
You could turn on the History Channel and learn everything about gangs I never even heard of.
Yeah.
They profiling niggas I never even heard of, G.
All different Puerto Rican gangs, Dominican gangs, and not even like, Latin gangs and whatnot. Like some joints you would never know about unless you was watching these things on TV.
Yeah.
History Channel, Discovery Channel got it. American Gangster, that show was always showing all those types of things.
Word, G. This is now, so-called American culture. I was speaking with somebody from Canada yesterday, and they was like, you guys are going down. I was like, well, you say you guys, what you talking about? She's like, United States. I said, oh, well, you ain't talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the outside view of how it looks because, again, the United States as a country is not a country. Go on the United Nations website and look under countries. You will see that the United States is not listed as a country. It's listed as a NGO, which is National Government Organization, which means that it's not a country literally at all.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you have these white folk militias that's ready to bomb white folk and corporations. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. It don't exist. What you believe is going on. Put it like this. Everything, Ronnie, you think is really going on in our movement is. You know what I'm saying? You want to find a guilty person, go to election, throw a rock. Whoever hit is probably down with it. Like, this is how it is now. It wasn't like this when I came in, man. But see, I think, in my own opinion, I think I was one of the last people to come in through a certain protocol. Usually those people who were brought into this thing were usually people who were connected somehow to somebody else in it. And I'm all down for tradition like that, because that's what preserves culture. The problem is, you can't be more down for preserving your culture when your brother is not. You know what I mean? If you about cultural ascension and your man is about paper ascension, see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Y'all not going to be able to rock too long. You know, the sheets from the goat thing is real, yo. So, again, our listeners, Baby Radio, everybody, conscious listeners, you know, even members of the syndicate, if y'all listening, you know what I'm saying, don't hate. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I could have really went in. You know what I mean? But we didn't. You know what I mean? It's our responsibility, though, as people that's really concerned about the work, to really build with the people on what's going on. So that way, if they do choose to mess with certain things, they get to open their eyes. So that way they don't wind up getting cloned, too. Mm-hmm. You know? So we got to do the knowledge. Attack of the Clones is real. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, all of that type of shit is real. That Star Wars shit is real. You know? First Earth Battalion, you know, psychic warfare, all of this stuff is actually happening every day, all day. So, I mean, we really got to preserve ourselves, man. And we have to really also look out for the original females that may get into this because they tired of being on some chicken head shit or whatever, and then you wind up getting close to a brother who got some type of knowledge, and then you come to find out he's just doing that because they're trying to get their ass or worse. You know, a brother trying to get with a sister who's really in it, and really she gets a head wrap hole. You know? We got to stop using our genitalia to emphasize what we know. You know what I'm saying?
So indeed. This is definitely not the place for that.
No, man.
Especially if we call ourselves a community.
Word. But I don't want to be a part of a community that's like that.
Neither do I. That's not even a community.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a loosely knitted group.
That's a fucking brothel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for real, man. This thing is real. Stop playing games with this thing, because the more you brothers and sisters that's out here putting out this fake now, also the way that you know you're doing the work is when people start creating rumors about you that's so far-fetched that the person telling you what the rumor is laughing with you when they telling you. Like I've heard so many rumors about why I left New York, man. It's funny, you know. And again, all of these rumors, again, perpetuated by the syndicate, or members of the syndicate, or operatives of the syndicate. See what I'm saying? But regardless of who or what, just so that way everybody knows, the Duke of Tears moved out here, where I'm at right now, so that way my son and my daughter and them have water and trees and sunlight. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's it. I've heard that I was on a run from drug dealing Moors and crazy shit. Like, yeah, I heard that you was on the run from some Moors that was dealing cocaine in Philly. Like, what? Like, what?
Actually, I haven't heard that one. It's my first time hearing that one.
See? I'm like, what? In Philly? That's not even my territory. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like the roots, you know what I mean? But, you know what I'm saying? That's as far as it go. But again, when you're really doing the work, you don't have to explain people your movements. You don't have to tell the people why you're doing this and why you're doing that. So long as you're doing what you're doing for them, that's all they care about, you know? Mm-hmm. But the same people that's promoting the disunity is the same people telling me things behind the scenes like, yo, but we got to work together and we got to get all of this unity out of the community. And I'm like, yeah, nigga, but you the one perpetuating this shit. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. But again, Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the black man is easily led to the wrong direction, but it's so hard for him to be led to the right. Mm-hmm. You know? In other news, you know, I did the knowledge that I was reading, doing some research on the Articles of Confederation or whatever, and I found that Thomas Jefferson didn't sign the Constitution.
Really?
Yeah, him and Adams and John Adams, they ain't signing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he was one of the main people, you know, one of the administrators who was responsible for making sure, you know, it got where it needed to go. So I find that funny, you know. Also, they just did another thing today in New York where they are about to start a mass body search for victims of 9/11. They still finding bones and bodies and pieces of people's bodies and shit on top of buildings and alleyways and stuff like that. You know what I mean? How long ago that happened?
2001.
2001? 2010 now? These people still finding bones, but what makes it, but to show you how devilish the devil can be, the reason why this thing came up was because people were actually online, on eBay, trying to sell bones and shit of 9/11 victims.
Yeah.
You know these white folk love keeping souvenirs.
Yeah.
You know how many Caucasian people got pieces of black people in their homes right now?
Yeah. Selling metal and shards, and when people were going down and taking bones and things like that.
Now, I mean, like straight up, like mandible, like jawbones, knee bones, fingers, pieces of people's brains, skulls, all this type of shit is what's being sold on the black market. You know, like how they was selling pieces of the Berlin Wall. They knocked it down. This is what they doing right now. You know what I'm saying? When people still dying from radiation poisoning, the Supreme Court came out and said that they're not the 9/11 people who worked at Ground Zero don't deserve no extra health care, nothing. They're still not telling them people that it was a mini nuke that was detonated at the bottom, which is why we kept hearing explosions all day. You know, they still trying to tell people that, you know, we're crazy because we don't believe that, you know, it happened the way it happened. You know. Like, you know, all of this type of stuff is going on. It's sick.
They got what they call it, you know, with some of that government money that the government is giving in New York City, they want to build a park in Staten Island that's going to be 3 times the size of Central Park, but they want to build it over the Fresh Kills landfill they got over
Fresh Kills landfill.
Yeah, the Fresh
Kills. Where they hit all of the where they hit all of the 9/11 shit.
Exactly, and that's what the 9/11 people are saying. They're like, yo, how you going to build a park over a cemetery?
See, so, the same way that they built a federal building over a fucking burial ground. These niggas, this is what they do. The only way the people are going to stop these people from doing anything is by collectively getting together and doing something. And I don't mean voting, and I don't mean marching. You know what I mean? I mean, like, collectively doing what these crackers be doing, how they used to do it, like Jimi Hendrix. People don't know that there was a coven of witches that was led by people like Melissa Etheridge, Sheryl Crow, another one of them old bitty, what's the one from Jefferson Airplane? I forget her. Grace Slick, all of them. They was all coven witches that were obsessed with Jimi Hendrix. So what they would do is they would form what they call a daisy chain, right? And that's when you get a bunch of this is a Wicca type ritual that deals with pseudo-lesbianism, right? Where they all basically give cunnilingus to each other in a circle, and then they have whatever the energy or focus point of the male that they're trying to gather his energy from in the middle of the daisy chain. That was Jimi Hendrix. That's why on the cover of that album, where he had all them naked girls and they was around his picture, remember that album?
Mm-hmm.
That was basically evidence of the type of shit that was on. He was beset by witches. That's why in that porno that they came out with him is after he's dead, he was dead in that porno. They were having sex with his dead body. You know what I'm saying? So the same way that these crackers be doing that is the same way we don't have to get that deep with the sexual aspect of it. But let me guarantee you, we a bunch of people, and I know that this is true because we did this at the Elks with the Hadrian Collider. A if a bunch of original people get in a certain point and have an image that they want to focus on or somebody that they want to take out, and they sit there and focus on this picture, and that's all you think about, you best believe something will happen to that person. And I'm not talking about assassination. I'm talking about spiritual warfare, because that's the only weapon that we have that they cannot conquer.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual technology is the only organic weapon that exists that the cracker has no defense from. You understand what I'm saying? So essentially, you really got to do the knowledge, because this is the type of stuff that is going on. And because we don't do things like this, most of the people that are on TV, especially in the music industry, especially in politics or whatever, those black people that you're seeing on TV every day are not your people, man. I'm sorry, they're not. If they was, they would be doing shit to help you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I see more crackers in the hood I see Mormons in the hood trying to do
mm-hmm.
more shit for niggas than these so-called rappers and actors and singers and politicians or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This thing is serious, y'all. Also, since we're talking about rituals, did I tell you about the guy in South by Southwest? What happened out there with the rocker guy?
Nah.
Yeah, this guy, right? He's a rock singer or whatever, and him and his band was doing a concert, and what he did was he had free drinks for everybody who was at the concert, right? So to kind of find out, though, that after the next day he posted a thing and he showed the video with how he made the drinks. This nigga pissed in all of all of the beer. You know what I'm saying? He said, well, the reason why they can't do nothing to me for that is because the Lord says you can't put blood, feces, or saliva in somebody's food, but urine is okay. So he basically passed his urine out to all his fans, and they all basically drank it. Now, these type of rituals, crowd diving, urinating on the crowd, ejaculating in receptacles and pouring it on the crowd, or having people have sex, or mutilating animals and stuff. There's a band called Mayhem that mutilates animals and shit, death metal band that mutilates animals on TV, right? All of that stuff came from Aleister Crowley.
Mm-hmm.
All of that stuff is Crowley and ritualistic stuff. So all that crowd diving, I mean, come on, man. How you going to jump in the crowd and just have these people be feeling you up, feeling all in your balls and feeling you behind and all sort of shit, going in your pockets, taking your gold out?
How many people got robbed doing that? Taking
right.
Your,
right.
Going in and taking your wallet, losing wallets, all that type of stuff.
I seen the rapper front flip into the damn crowd surfing and shit. Like, these niggas is crazy. Like, you are not, Mick Jagger, nigga. What are you doing? And even he ain't doing that. So, people, man, wake up, yo. You know what I'm saying? All y'all death metal heads, all y'all niggas listening to that type of stuff, man. Just know that you were a soldier in Lucifer's army, man, and that's what you chosen, and that's cool. But just don't bring that shit to the hood, man. And those people in the hood that's trying to get into this pseudo, with black rock stars and all sorts of shit. Like, come on, man. Robert Johnson was a rock star, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't get more rock.
Chuck Berry.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a rock star. You know what I mean? What's his name? What's the other guy? Jimi Hendrix. You know what I mean? That's a rock star. You dig what I mean? And even that, he wasn't even calling himself that.
Mm-hmm.
Jimi Hendrix never referred to himself as a rock star. He referred to himself as a musician.
Mm-hmm.
A rock star is an entity, nigga. A rock is a stone. It's something that sinks to the bottom when you throw it in water, which means it has no buoyancy. You know what I'm saying? Which means it's destined to go down, yo.
Yeah.
But again, these dudes would rather be that than be, a conscious star, a black star, whatever. Dark star, no. Speaking of Illuminati, too, there's a Illuminati princess who basically gave up all of her fortune to go live with a Maasai nigga in a hut.
Yeah.
You heard about that?
In Africa.
Yeah, I saw it on Boxer, but it's also on Reuters. And it's a big thing in England, because this chick is really connected. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So she have a baby with this dude. You understand what I'm saying? There's going to be a black, a jet black Illuminati Messiah baby coming up and complicate shit in Europe. She better watch out, though, because, they hit Diana for the same type of shit.
Yeah, they just killed that dude in South Africa, that racist dude.
Mm-hmm. They killed the neo-Nazi dude, you see?
Yeah, they just bodied him.
Mm-hmm.
Beat him to
There's
death.
a tape. See? And a group of sticks together is called what? A bundle of faggots.
Yeah, bundle of faggots.
Right. Right? Also, what I was going to say, a Korean couple just got locked up because they chose to spend more time with their virtual child than their real one, and their real child wanted to starving it.
Yeah.
But this is the part 2 of the guy who married his online. Yeah. Yeah, man. So, people really need to do the knowledge, man. This shit is getting serious.
Did you hear about the joint family that's now that got arrested, because they told their 7-year-old son not to trust the government?
What?
Yeah.
What?
And they took the boy into custody.
His family told him not to trust, that they don't trust the government, so they locked him up. Was he a clear boy or black?
Yeah, clear boy.
He's a clear boy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, they know they can't do that to black people. They think of black people, they won't take them for the shit like that. We raised on that type of shit.
Yeah, so they said that the parents were aggressive to the government because anytime the government will go around police officers and anything like that, they would allow them in the house unless they had a search warrant. Telling them they don't trust the government. So, apparently they got a court order, went in, took the young boy, and now they trying to basically take him from the family.
Exactly. And that's the problem, yo. People don't have no means of actively discerning what they can say and what they can't say because the laws of this country are non-existent because you don't live in a country anymore, people.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't really been in a country since 1791. Really, if you keep it real. But to be generous, after your man FDR came in there and did his little skullduggery, it's a wrap. So, again, your so-called president has already dismantled your banking infrastructure. He dismantled your auto infrastructure. Mm-hmm. He's dismantled your healthcare infrastructure. So the only thing left is the military and the state bureaucracies. See what I'm saying? So be careful to the point where a lot of these guys is committing mass suicide right now. A lot of these Yaleys and these dudes, the Yale dude, after he spread skull and bones and they went to took a trip to New York, went to the top of the Empire State Building and jumped off, killed himself. But right after he joined. So what is that telling you, man? But you still got original black people that still becoming Greeks, still acting like Greek culture is not homosexual culture. Like, keep it real, y'all. I'm not hating. Like, if y'all want to be that, be that. I'm just saying, if you got into it and you didn't know, that I can't, nobody could fault you for that. But once you know, and there's enough information out here, yo, you know what I'm saying, that people can really, understand what's going on. So, be careful. There was another thing, too. People can go online and see the United States killing innocent civilians in Iraq right now.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing that came out, and they showing how they just gunning regular people down as if American people didn't know.
And that's what's going on.
But again, that was George Bush's fault, right? Wink, wink. But
there's a thing going on now where they're saying that there's over 900 child deaths in the U.S. due to non-breastfeeding. And they're trying to urge, with this all ties into the healthcare thing, the death care thing that Obama's putting forward. But they're trying to urge parents to go back to breastfeeding their children.
Wow.
Because of how these using the can't even remember the name of these companies, but using the artificial joints that they have out there, how they're saying that leads to over 900 child deaths, in the U.S. Yeah.
Wow. Speaking of children deaths, I've been doing the research on crime statistics. You know how we talked about how crime basically operates in 24 to 30% of the gross national product.
Yep.
Well, there was a specific upsurge in crime that coincidentally, wink wink, coincided with the release of Eminem's albums.
Oh,
They said when his albums, when his albums came out, crime in the United States consecutively, whenever he was dropping albums, spiked up to the last album is now. It's the last album in terms of deaths and killings and juvenile crime went up to 35%. You know what I'm saying? So, these dudes is trying to push for this 50% thing, y'all. So y'all really got to be careful what y'all listen to, yo. And I'm not saying that this guy's not talented, but you got to understand this dude is a moonchild, man. He was raised to be the demonic entity he is. His entire album is about satanic, demonic possession, as well as crazy other stuff. But again, he's a good rapper, so we can let all that other shit slide, okay? and again, this is post NWA. Even when NWA came out, the crime wasn't like that. It just maintained its strategic, its level. So people really, you got to really watch what you put in your ear. Matter of fact, I got a quote from a couple of people, rock, so-called musician people. This quote is from Rob Thomas from that group Matchbox 20. And this is in regards to when he was working with Carlos Santana doing the Supernatural album that got all them awards. Right? This is what he said. He said Carlos sat me down. Now Santana, that's not too far from another word that's very similar, which is Satan. Carlos Santana basically said Carlos told me that the record that we were doing, Supernatural, had a deeper purpose, that it was put together in a certain way, and it had to use all of the modern people that's out. Whereas that when they were calling to do the record, people had already, the demonic Rob had put out, when people that were chosen for it already knew that they was going to do it allegedly before they did it. Meaning that when they got the call to do it, they already knew that this is what they needed to do. So he said it was put together in this way for the fashion to get everybody on the same page, and that page was basically based on, he said, it was put together just so through sound, because the purpose of the sounds that they were using in it was to change the molecular structure of everyone who listened to it. Whoa. He said because the music involved, he said, and he went on to say that is the purpose of rock stars and the music industry. And that he sat me down and went further and explained that is the purpose of what we do. Now, another guy named Frank Zappa said, William Burroughs, he's the guy who killed Kurt Cobain, for those that don't know. William Burroughs was a CIA agent, hitman, who was also a writer and a prolific Satanist, so-called illuminist or whatever. And in that video that Nirvana did in Utero, there was a scene in it where it was supposed to be that that this guy William Burroughs, who at the time was about 80, was supposed to be having anal sex with Kurt Cobain. And at the point of this guy William Burroughs ejaculating, Kurt Cobain was supposed to die. You see what I'm saying? This is all in William Burroughs' book for people to do knowledge. But this is what he said about it. He said, there's a book. The book is called Conspiracy Against Rock, and there's another one called Demon Possession by a guy named John Nevius, Nevius, called Demon Possession. Anyway, William Burroughs goes on to say, a rock concert is in fact a rite or ritual, which involves the transmutation or evocation of energy. Rock stars, in that, this is a direct quote, rock stars may be then compared to priests. For such magic to succeed, it must tap the sources of magical energy, and this in itself is very dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Frank Zappa went on to say, I am the devil's advocate. We have our own worshippers called groupies, girls who will give their bodies to musicians the same way you would give a sacrifice to God. You know, now, again, this is the modus operandi of the modern music industry. This is not to say that music is satanic or everyone in the music industry is on that. However, if you are in the major music industry the way that it's working now, you have to be, because the Department of Defense is controlling those companies in conjunction with, you know, other things. So anybody that's really doing music and sincere about getting words out and creativity out to the people, the best way to do it is yourself. You know, it may take a while or whatever. You know, it's going on with us right now, you know, raising money to do it. However, if you're sincere about it, people will help. You know, we need more people that will actively do things like that. Also, in Nirvana's first performance, they sacrificed a raven, right? And Kurt Cobain, ate the raven that he sacrificed in front of everybody, you know. Now, the reason why the raven is used is because the raven is a bird that represents the subtle, the supernatural aspect of cosmic awareness, whereas crows represent the transition from going from, you know, dead to the underworld. Once you go into the underworld, the crow then becomes the raven, because now the raven shows you how to do it. And the raven is so serious, keep it real, that the British government has a legend about the Tower of London, and they say that so long as ravens inhabit the tower, which is where they used to imprison people and torture people, that the British government would always rule. So to this day, the British government has what they call a raven master, right? Who his whole job in the Tower of London is that he raises ravens. But they can only have 6 ravens at one time, right? But what they do is they clip the raven's tail feathers so it can't really fly that far away. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So again, that shows you how the British do. They'll give you a place to live, you know, the so-called European British. They'll give you a place to live and hook you up or whatever. But they serving you and bringing you food, but they're going to make sure that you can't leave. You know what I'm saying? So you should really, people who are into ornithology, which is the study of birds, you should do the knowledge to that, because these birds and these animals now are actively in an open war against the cracker. You don't believe me? Ask the chick who got ate by the orca, or the chick that got her face bit off by the bear, or, you know. It's going down, basically, is what we're saying, you know?
Yeah. On an extreme level. You want to go into a joint and after that come back and open up the phone line?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so right now, and then we're going to come back over to anybody who wants to call in with your questions and comments. The number is 347-371-1184. I think we get into heinous art today. We're going to play a joint called Heinous Art off a project I got coming called Natural Flavor. Me with the rhymes and, my producer by the name of Cloud on the beats, the Gangstar Tandem. So we're going to get into that. And when we come back, we're going to open up the phone line. So once again, the number is 347-637-1184. Right? Super Heru Radio. We'll be back shortly.
Physical position now, pushing you to listen like Zachariah attention mentioning planets that's missing now. Who gon' cross the borders, exposing you thinking orders? You sacrifice mothers, daughters for the forces of the caucus. Watch out for mental disorder in this information age. Nobody wants to walk, everyone needs to segue. If you was a monitor, what goes on in the monitor, you would know the climate of the complex of the thermometer. Break the puzzle like Sudoku with the vocal. Get the princess back with that attack. Coast school, this is not the worry you will do. These like what Jerry do, the shit was fucked up way before George W. Financial crisis, taking license 1922. Give me control of the money, who cares who make the Lord? Rothschild told you, they do it on their own accord. While you drive behind the Accord, wishing you would get a reward for purchasing things you can't afford. Billions depends on the war, while closing down food for the poor. Got homies from road to send back to the shore. Open your eyes before it's too late. Don't need to delegate a debate, just make sure your bearings are straight. No matter if it's fiction or fake, you still gotta hit with the gate. A classic record's what they use to relate. They know everything you ate off your plate. They blame it on the crucial Patron with the great. Not the great Jackie, more like the great escape. Like Nazis sneaking into South American states, forcing the natives to expatriate. The coca leaves the soaky seed. Now you can't get cocaine locally. High potency, watch your moves, you can lose. No matter what you choose, if they turn up like vegetables, that your vegetable exception you, action won't be ethical.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's my joint, son.
Thank you,
That's my joint, son. That's my joint, son.
So we're going to go to the line.
Oh, real quick, before you do that, real quick, for those of our peoples that always support from New York, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But we doesn't look like we're going to do the May 1st lecture and May 2nd workshop. Stay tuned, though. We're going to give you another date, probably sometime after that. We're going to be up there and we're going to really go in. But again, I apologize for those people that were looking forward to it. I was looking forward to it too, but in these times, man, we got to be real careful. So, sometimes we got to, in order to get things, sometimes you got to let certain things go, you know what I'm saying? So this is one of those cases, but we're going to make it work. So, yeah, we can get into the next one.
Okay, so, that's how it works out sometimes, but definitely going to keep the people abreast to anything else that, you're going to organize, I know, of course. So, people definitely check out his website and, the YouTube and everything, and, you'll be updated, you know what I'm saying? And, we always thank the people for the support. So, we're going to go to 770. You're rocking with Super Heru Radio. Peace.
Hello.
Peace.
Hey.
Peace, Queen.
Hey. How y'all doing?
I'm good, Queen.
I'm just grateful for you guys just having this radio show, putting it out there, being objective, and not letting your ego get involved. And
thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I just want to say that, I mean, right now we have to learn to really trust ourselves and our instincts and our first mind, because that's, that's really what you have to pay attention to so that you can learn and grow. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you're like repeating, you see the same thing 2 and 3 times, and then you finally get it. Then you're like, okay, so the next time something comes to you, you take it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, I just was saying thank you.
Thank you, Queen.
Mhm.
Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your kind words.
Okay.
Can you say the last part again, Queen? I couldn't hear you.
Oh no, it was just thanks. But why the Afghan president threatened to join the Taliban today? It was on the Fox News.
That's a great question, Queen. Thank you so much. Keep it real. It's about what it is. It's about drugs, and it's about the fact that he is now in a position that the Russians are courting him. See, money talk, bullshit walk. So the whole Afghan thing really, in our lifetime, started in the 80s, Well, the 80s. But the actual beginning of that whole conflict started with the British way back in maybe about around the 1900s. So this is really unresolved beef, because the British needed Afghanistan at the time because the empire was waning, and the British East India Company couldn't get the opium from China no more. So they needed to open up another route, and at the same time they needed to find a way into Tibet. So they figured they would dump the people up in Afghanistan, because they weren't drug addicts at the time. They didn't do that. So they would import the opium and turn that into coke, and eventually all of that got turned into crack. So in our era now, when George Bush, Clinton, Carter, and Reagan, through that whole era was them basically creating the framework for what we are going through today. So the only way they was able to pay for all of that stuff, because at the time the United States was still functioning kind of like it was a country. So they needed to hide a lot of stuff from what they called the Senate Appropriations Committee. So what they decided to do was create a so-called black budget or black op budget that they could basically tell the Congress and the government, look, we need $2 trillion, or however much, to go fund this, intelligence briefing that we really can't tell you about. And you need to trust us because you are the guys that elected us to do it, so we are not stealing the money. So when they would write off this money, they would just take that money and buy more dope. See what I'm saying? And Karzai was one of the guys, just like Osama bin Laden, who grew up under the tutelage of Zbigniew Brzezinski and the rest of these guys who were obsessed with destroying the Russians. So all of the black op money that was funneled into the people to the United States at the time was really all drug money. But because drugs wasn't a big thing in the United States, they was missing half of their market. So they needed an agenda to promote drug use here, and that became known as the hippie movement or the flower power movement. All of that shit is about getting people strung out on drugs, But they didn't. But most people at the time only really did weed, you see. So the FDA had to come in tandem with that and then create the term gateway drug, right, to get everybody to think that if you use weed, you'll naturally want to use other shit. And that's when weed got lumped into the drug thing, so that way they can make more money off of all of it. So at this time today, Obama, who is the inheritor of all of the drug money and stuff, that he basically just settled from the stimulus thing. The stimulus package stuff was based on the $1.2 trillion that allegedly George Bush and them scammed out that they couldn't find, that was also connected to the Bernie Madoff shit. Because Madoff made off with all of the money. You see what I'm saying? So the way that they needed to flip it was this. They said, well, the money that Obama needed to, again, funnel now his war in South America as well as the coming war against Russia, he needs more drugs to do it. So now I need, as the new president, need to lock down Afghanistan again. You see what I'm saying? And then Karzai, who is Bush's boy, who is the president, who also worked for Bush's father as a popular oil, right? They all needed a means to facilitate the movement of the money. So Karzai is basically getting cut out of the deal. Karzai got cut out of the deal. So essentially, he, is missing a lot of the money. So what he's done, because last week, if you look at the news, they said that he was meeting with the Russian ambassador in France. So essentially what he was doing is trying to cut a deal with the Russians, you see what I'm saying, who are actually geographically closer to Afghanistan than the United States. And now this is a way for the United States to get back at Russia for the United States funding and creating the Taliban during Charlie Wilson's war. So I hope that was an in-depth answer to your question.
Yeah, that did answer. And also, I want to say, Friday, I do the parking ride at the MARTA, and they suspended the rail service on, the north and south line. And my first thought, I'm like, okay, this some bull or whatever. But then it was like they found a suspicious package, at one of the train stations. And I'm like, okay, so they're running drills now.
Yeah, see, they're running drills now, exactly. So now you know, and this is what I mean, sisters, that what you just did is called cognitive reasoning, based on a predetermined understanding of the situation in which you reside. So that means that, okay, if you know that they're running drills over there, all you got to do is look at a map, right? The next time they do something like that, right, get you a map, do what they do. Get you a map, get the little push-pin tacks, and then start putting them into the places that these things are happening, and you will see a pattern start emitting, because it's usually one thing, and then everything that happens after that goes out in what they call a spiral pattern. You know what I'm saying? Like if you put together all of the so-called plane crashes and government buildings that have been blown up and all that shit that has happened within the last, since maybe 99, you'll see that it is basically a pentagram. That all of the points, when you add them up and with the string and all that, when you do that, you'll end up with a pentagram. That's called a blood pyramid. This is part of their a serial agenda over everything. But it ain't going to work. There's mad books you could get on what we're talking about right now. There's called Neuro-Linguistic Programming. I forget who it's by, but if you type that in, there's mad books on that. As well as we did a workshop on it, on this type of stuff, to show people how to start reading like what you're doing. So I appreciate the support, man. Thanks for supporting us.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.
We got 234.
Hello?
Peace, Queen.
Hey, I know you guys were speaking about the Metropolis ritual earlier tonight with Erykah Badu. And I noticed online, because I use this blog called Tumblr to display my artwork, that artist Janelle Monáe came out with a video called Tightrope with big boys. Yeah, so in the video, she was dancing and doing that whole, the black dance that we've been doing for, decades, and, centuries, really. And then, towards the end of the video, these two black figures with, mirrors on their faces were chasing her. So I was wondering if that was, an initiation ritual or something, because, I like her music, but I know there's just something, a little, not right about her.
Yeah. Well, again, she's been put through thank you for your call and your question, actually. She's been put through, she's one of those that's gone through the Metropolis ritual, but her Metropolis ritual is more a mixture of, Southern, voodoo.
Yeah.
That it's mass, it's basically the type of shit that she's under is more like, or a lot of brothers and sisters in Atlanta is under. It's a form of satanic, Luciferian, let's say Illuminati type mind control or ritualistic stuff, but it's masked under like black evangelism and
yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, because there are a lot of people into that in the Southern Church. I know.
Of course.
Yeah. I was just wondering what your thoughts on that was.
The mirror people are the same people that you would call the Wraith in Lord of the Rings. Those are basically two aspects of herself. You know what I mean? Or the two demons that she has agreed with. You know what I'm saying? To help fund her so long as she, whenever, because you notice they only come out when she was dancing, and then when she stopped dancing, they have to take her back to her room. The room represents the altar in her mind that she's locked in, right? And then you remember there's a part at the end where you see her, it says the Palace of the Dogs or whatever, and it has her signature.
Yes.
That was basically the deal with the devil. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
Her dancing, the more she danced, the more she was able to break out of the school, and that's where she was walking in the wilderness. But then because she don't have her soul, she can't exist in the outside world, which is why she had to go back in.
Wow.
And you know this is real because Puffy is the one that is putting out that project.
Yeah, because as soon as I heard you hooked up with Puffy, I was like, whatever.
No, it's a rap. Anybody see what happened to Waka Flocka, right? He did the video Waka Flocka in jail, right?
Yeah.
Same shit with well, he got out, but he was in. Same thing with Janelle Monáe in that sense, with him, with her and Big Boy. Because on that song, that's not Big Boy rapping. That's another demon or an entity named Lucius Leftfoot.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay.
That's
all right.
And when you look at the title of the song, and it says featuring, it doesn't say featuring Big Boy. It says featuring Lucius Leftfoot, so that lets you know that the entity is in control of him.
Okay.
You know, so thank you for your call, Queen.
Wow, thank you. God bless.
Thank you. Peace. That was a good question. That Janelle Monáe joint, the album is cool, man. It's totally, she's in it, you know, and it's unfortunate. And then her the collective that she is down with, or they call themselves the Wonderland Society. Come on, man.
Really?
You might as well just call it MK Ultra, like. Stop beating around the bush.
The Green's Kids.
You said the Green's Kids. Word.
Oh, yeah. You know. Oh, okay. We got 757. You're rocking with Heru Radio. Peace.
Peace.
You're not at the phone. Maybe they just listen. Okay, we got 310. Rock with Heru Radio. Peace.
Peace.
Peace. What's up with the brothers? How y'all doing, man?
I'm doing good.
How you doing?
Oh, man, it's a weekly ritual. Getting it in with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Getting this knowledge out.
That's what it is, man. That's what's up. I'm glad you tuned in.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. Everything is there. Pardon me, brother?
I said, how are you, man? Good?
Oh, man, blessed, man. Blessed. All praises due to Allah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everything is cool, man. Just out here just getting it in, you know, just trying to get the knowledge right and keeping it tight, you know.
Indeed. That's what's up.
Yes, sir, man. But on the real side, man, you was really going in on the what's going on with the metaphysical consciousness community, you know, because I'm, you know, from the outside looking in, but I could just, you know, the real recognize the real. You could just see through all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just telling you, brother, man, hey, now's the time, man, just go in. You know what I'm saying? Just go in, you know, and hey, you know what I'm saying? Because all this fake shit I'm seeing, you know what I'm saying, people just one-sidedness, people claiming they're about unity, that's bullshit. When at the same time, you know what I'm saying, you want to knock the next person off of what they on, and, you know, it's just, man, people see through all that, you know.
So,
you know, you really got sincere people out here really trying to get the information and trying to uplift themselves. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
You know, a lot of these people, they say, oh, it's for the people, it's for the people. Since when is the people? It's never really been about the masses.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Nope,
I remember.
Talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's like Bobby Hemmett spoke up on it. I was peeping him out a while back and said, you know, those that's conscious, they got the light. You know what I'm saying? To take care of the dead people. So when it's time for them to raise, it's time for them to come up. But you know, a lot of times these people say, "Oh, we trying to get the information to the people," and man, that's bullshit. You ain't trying to do nothing to serve yourself.
That's the cover story. That's the cover story. That's the mantra, and that's the. You know, you have a bunch of, like, you see the Tibet monks and they all chanting the same shit. You know what I'm saying? One thing they don't tell you about that type of shit, that type of chanting, that on all day, all night shit, you know, that shit draws a lot of the vibratory frequency that comes from the deep part of the testes. And the more you do that, you know, also sitting in that lotus position for all of those hours doing that same chant, going back and forth, what it does is it restricts and draws the testes back up into the scrotum. So essentially turning niggas, you know, into females. So if that's what the mantra of these people is, imagine what that lie is doing to them.
Right.
Right. You gotta understand that as above, so below. You can only fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time, man.
That's
and
right.
The thing is, what happens is you can always tell that there's a disinformation agent around you when you find yourself always almost having to convince or conform your personality towards them in a manner that you feel they are not doing the same for you. You see what I'm saying? If you always talk to somebody and you always find yourself, they always got a problem with what you're saying, but they still friends with you and shit, these people don't like you. So you're not supposed to eat with people like that. You're not supposed to, you know, dance with people like that. You're not supposed to, you know, talk to them. It's like we got to get to a point where we stop saying, well, you know, we all black, we all still got to work together. No, unity begins with self-awareness, you know. So if it's really about that and you are projecting that outwardly, that means that you are going to attract 50% of the time you're going to attract the opposite, and 50% of the time you're going to attract the light. But if you are wasting time with the opposite, then you'll never meet the right people. You see what I'm saying? Because you wasted time with niggas that's really transient in the first place. You just met them or they came in your path to teach you something about self-reliance or integrity, or chivalry, or honesty. These words mean nothing to people like we're talking about, or people in what I call the syndicate. That stuff doesn't matter to them because people don't talk like that anymore. You know?
Right.
But if we talk like that to each other, then that means that this will just be the way eventually everybody will talk. You see what I'm saying? Because it's what we are doing. Because it's not what you know that gets you, it's what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's the shit that you don't know that in actuality or that you're on the verge of knowing that allows you to move on. But you're dealing with people who feel that they know because they got a whole room full of DVDs. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And the niggas will go back in on the archives on you. They'll start quoting shit from Brother Daoud tapes from 1971 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't got the tape, you won't know.
Right.
You know?
Right. But that ain't true research.
And this is that also to be clear too. I'm not trying to say that you can't talk or use sources that other people have used. I'm just saying when you are building from the point that you are, like if I am reading something that I learned from Ivan Van Sertima, I'm going to talk about Ivan Van Sertima by giving respect to him by telling people where I got the knowledge from, the book or the reference or whatever.
That's right.
If these dudes is not doing that, you see what I'm saying, and they just fronting to the people like this is all just coming from them, like, that's whack, man. That's whack.
Yeah, cats
like
be acting like
somebody's
walking
rhyme.
Akashic records.
Yeah, man. Because nobody owns this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Nobody owns this. So why y'all niggas feel that you got the right to charge and decide who's being heard and who's valid or who whatever? that's why the game is just wide open now, because the energy has now become dissipated. Because once Barack got in, everybody got lazy. It's like, oh, well, we can't bitch about nothing no more. We got a black president. Nigga, you got one. Like Paul Mooney said, you talking about one president? These motherfuckers gonna have 43.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they black too, but they ain't gonna tell you that unless you find out. So, again, man, I appreciate the support, man, that you show me and my brother every week. I really do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All the time, brothers. Y'all brothers be safe, man.
You too, King. Till
next
time.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
That's what I'm talking about. That's real right there.
Mm-hmm.
We got 609. Rockin' with Super Heru Radio. Peace.
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 Hello?
Peace.
Yeah, peace. Islam. This is Doctor 720. I just wanted to say that you guys are doing a good job, and the only gazing we should be doing right now is sun gazing. People have to take responsibility. I know it's a lot because, like, I always had the knowledge with me, but I pushed it away because how I was being treated by my family. So now I'm coming back into it, and it's hard. It's a lot. It's not easy. But we have to take responsibility for our own self. And people don't understand. That's why they couldn't stop Hannibal, because each one of his soldiers was a scientist and a general just like him, and a leader.
Exactly.
So
and he didn't, even though he was their leader, he didn't try to belittle them. This whole modern military in which you're belittling people, all of that comes from the Roman state. That's not how the Roman emperors did the Moors did their armies. That's not how the Kemites ran their armies. That's not how the ancient Sumerians, the Elamites, the Moabites, the Canaanites, the Phoenicians, the Olmecs, the Moankon, none of these people ran their armies the way that they run it now. Because when you run the army the way that it is run now, what you do is you breed homosexuality in your ranks.
Definitely.
Because you can't be in a situation around men like that all the time and browbeating them and not giving them no means of sexual release.
Yeah.
They'll turn on each other and become homosexual. And the only other animals in the world that go homo in strenuous situations like that are monkeys.
Yes.
Specifically chimpanzees. And you know when you shave a chimpanzee, what color it is.
Exactly. And the next thing, too, we have to start listening to our spirit, because our spirit would let us know who is right from wrong, who is true or not. Your spirit would definitely tell you. When you see, even if you see these people on TV or you hear them on the radio, your vibration wouldn't feel them, even through the TV. And we just have to start listening.
That's right, my brother. You're absolutely correct. Thank you for your call, man.
All right, definitely. Peace.
Peace.
We got, I think there's a caller from the chat room. Peace. Rockin' Super Heru Radio.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace, brother.
Hello?
Hello?
We're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Is that everybody okay?
Yeah, we're here, man.
Yeah, I'm just calling from London, and I want to go back to
Alright. What's up, kid?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Everything's good?
Yes.
Very well, brother. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I just want to go back to the statement you said about the ravens and the crows.
Yes.
Back to the birds. There's some birds I've been seeing in my garden, like some green parrots. And my dad was telling me something about Jimi Hendrix when he had a concert. He released them or something like that. And I don't know if you know anything about that. Some green parrots. I see 3 of them sometimes.
Ravens themselves.
No, I see parrots.
Green parrots.
Like, actually green parrots.
Oh, parrots, he said.
Yeah.
Oh, like...
And Jimi Hendrix was meant to have released them when he had a concert or something.
You've been seeing parrots in London?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my garden.
Really? Like in the park and shit?
No. In the back of my garden, they go on the trees. There's like 3 of them now.
The parrots, they be in your backyard, like in the trees in your backyard?
Yeah.
Wow, man, that's very, very fortunate because parrots like that are tropical. So for them to be in London like that without, coming from a pet store or something like that is very, very interesting. It's funny you say that because I saw some parakeets out here in the trees in Florida, which is interesting. That would mean then that there may be something going on in terms of the shift or what we were talking about in terms of the South Atlantic anomaly. It may be messing up, or the North Node and South Node may be affected to the point that the birds are basically looking at the North or the West as the South or the South as the East. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
I'm not sure though. I'm gonna do the knowledge to that though. If you can, man, take pictures of them.
Okay.
And if you can't email them to me, then I could do the knowledge to what the species of what type of parrot it is, and then I could let you know where they from, and then we can find out. Okay, if this is a natural phenomenon, or just this, sovereign parrot, sovereign parrot that's going to do me.
Yeah, you haven't heard anything about. Sorry. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Peace.
All right.
No,
I actually heard that story with Jimmy. He released parrots at the Isle of Wight. When he performed at the Isle of Wight, he had released parrots in the air.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got that on tape. Yo. That's interesting. It's funny because you were just talking about him tonight. Jimmy.
Okay, what time was it? You got 919.
Peace.
You rocking with Super Baby Radio.
Peace.
Peace. What's going on, y'all?
Peace, yo, dude. What's going on?
What up, sir? This is Dakota, man, from 919.
What's up, homie? What's going on?
What's going on, man?
Maintaining.
Nah, man, I was calling to see if y'all heard about the 40 people that got killed in Chicago in a matter of 2 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's part of the blue bean shit, as well as the invasion protocol. The invasion protocol that they're implementing in cities and stuff, because they're really focused on the amount of casualties that will come about by that. Like every crime that you see on TV now is almost like it's almost like a study to see how many copycat crimes will come after that. And then based on that, again, this helps in the crime average with the states when they have to give in their fiscal budget, because that's the other thing with Chicago. Chicago is rampantly corrupt. So it's been corrupt since daily. You know what I mean? Since daily doing this thing. So it's a consistent thing. So right now, we getting close to tax day. So remember, the more crime you got popping, around tax day is when the states have to give in their tax revenue to the federal government, and where they also get the write-offs based on how much money they can get back based on whatever infrastructure requirements that need to be stabilized. So if you have a rash of killings in a specific area, then that means that they can write off and get more money, you see what I'm saying, from the government based on special things. And then all of this stuff is being run through FEMA. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So this is like the serial killings of the black women in North Carolina that they still ain't solved, or the precious ritual killings that have been going on since that movie came out. Everybody should do, if we give homework, I should do this tonight. Everybody listening, go online after you get off or whenever you got time, and find the date that Precious came out, and then from that date that it came out, look in the news at all of the killings that deal with the subjects that were in Precious, specifically with black people. Okay? And then you'll see what they call the projected trend ratio of whatever police action they want to bring to your state.
That's crazy. All right, that's what's up, man. That's crazy.
So I appreciate it, brother. Man. Thank you for
appreciate it, brother.
Thank you.
All right,
peace.
Peace.
You got people asking the real questions tonight, so they going in.
We got, I guess we can go for two more, and then we're going to wrap it up. So, we got 909. 909.
Hey, peace, God.
Peace.
Peace, God. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Peace,
man, I just wanted to see if we can. I just wanted to see if you guys, brothers, can maybe do the knowledge further on another brother named Serge Newbray. Have you ever heard of him?
Serge Newbray?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
He's a brother. He was basically the father of modern bodybuilding.
Oh,
and his whole legacy was stolen by Arnold Schwarzenegger and
and
the mother cat
started Gold's Gym.
Joe Weider, the Weider brothers.
Yeah.
Those two.
Yeah.
Well,
the Gold Gym.
Because if you notice, you remember the movie Pumping Iron. Remember he came in second place in that movie.
Tuki.
Now, huh? To what?
Tuki.
Yeah. Yeah. He was 41 when that movie came out. But what's just so heavy about it is, the brother was actually writing a book, two books, one about his whole life story and about basically how these brothers worship Satan, basically. And the other book he was writing was called I Am, Me, and God. And it was basically, he was basically about to break down how he was God, basically. And how basically he was about to break down that whole knowledge. Now his wife at the time, she was also an original woman, and she won all the competitions for the women's championship. So these two individuals, they have titles all over the world. Yeah, they have titles all over the world. Now this brother right now, right when he was getting ready to come to America, he was 7 years old. He had his last competition. He was 65, like in immaculate shape. And so he was right when he was around. He had some type of I think he had a hip surgery, right? And he was out of commission for about 6 months. And as soon as after this hip surgery, basically, right, he said he's going to come. He said he was coming to America after his hip surgery. But during his hip surgery, he was telling people that the reason that he had to get that hip surgery so he can write these books. Yeah. So he can have some downtime to write those books. So he's writing these books, and at the same time, he's starting to get his health back, and then he gets back in immaculate shape again, like immaculate shape. And he's telling these guys, he's telling everybody, look, where are these guys at, man? My shit is forever what I'm doing here. He was like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all these cats, and he's telling you the whole history of all these cats. And just to make a long story short, on his way, when he was coming back to America, he was going to come back and do a tour of America. He started hitting the internet heavy. He was on all these little forums organizing bodybuilding competitions and whatnot. His buzz was getting through the roof again. Because he's people were coming all around the world to see him outside of this country. They held his history so much, they held it back so much out here that a lot of people don't know who he is. But around the world, he's like a legend, basically. And
that's most original.
Yeah. So basically, what ended up happening is he ended up getting into some type of coma. He's being held somewhere out of the country, in a small little hospital, and they basically, for some reason, they having a hard time killing his brother. You know what I'm saying? They keep poisoning him with all this other stuff, and they don't know what to do. And so right now, all his whereabouts, there's a whole bunch of mystique around his whereabouts right now. But everybody's saying that he's being poisoned by his children and all that. But we know that's probably not the real story. But just to give you guys a heads up on the brother, that's all.
I appreciate it, man. If you can, email us the info. Super Heru Radio,
well,
man.
The main reason the main way I got his info is when he was on these forums. People were just asking him, like, why weren't you, how come you never won these, Mr. Olympia? Because he talked about how Mr. Olympia was created basically to overshadow what he was doing around the world. You know what I'm saying?
That's the same reason why they invented mixed martial arts, because of people like Mike Tyson. And these niggas whipping niggas' ass so much that the white man can't be on top. So, of course, he got to fight dirty. So he got to make fighting dirty legal. Wrestling wasn't enough.
Right.
So,
and see, that's what he was saying that they was doing to him. But the way I got the information is when people was asking him questions on these forums, he was just hitting people with the straight facts on what happened. And he was saying he wasn't,
I don't want to cut you, but we down almost like the last.
I'm sorry.
But,
I'm sorry.
I really appreciate the info, man. And then if you can, tell us a link. And
Thank you, man. Yeah, and I was saying that just because I don't have an actual link, but all of his forums is wide open. Like, he was on bodybuilding.com forums and whatnot, and that's where people was hitting him with the information. There's thousands of pages of him going through his history on that. So I was just giving you a heads up on that. That's all.
I appreciate it,
Thank you, brothers, man. I appreciate it, man. Love you guys, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 hours ain't even enough sometimes, man.
Yeah. But that's why Arnold killed Tukey, because Tukey used to just beat him up literally and in the competition. And when he finally got the chance to turn the screws, he would. But again, Arnold Schwarzenegger's father was a card-carrying Nazi. There's pictures of him on the internet right now. Anybody can go see. But again, white folk will allow him to become governor of their state just because of not only his status, but the fact, again, he's white. If he was a black, let's believe if Obama father was a card-carrying Nazi, you would know about it. You know what I'm saying? So we could do one more, I guess, before we.
One more? Okay.
We
got 310. We got 313. You're on Super Heru Radio. Peace.
Peace. I guess that's it.
Hold on. We got
man.
Hey, Super Heru Radio.
Peace.
Hey, much love to you, brothers. Just wanted to call in again today. I was the hype guy called in yesterday. I love your show so much. I've been telling everybody about it. I'm in West Virginia, and I just want to make a comment. We've been having a lot of lightning with no thunder. I've heard you talk about that before, brother Dr. Aseer. And if you could talk about the black roots of the Buddha, maybe not today, maybe next show. But again, much love to you and yours, your family. I'm praying for you guys every day. Love you, Asad. Love you, Dr. Aseer, and much love to you guys.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Father. I appreciate it. Real quick, like anytime you see lightning with no thunder, that's a technological weapon being used, some type of weather or electromagnetic anomaly. So you got to be careful with that. So the best thing to do is monitor where these things are coming and how they're manifesting in the frequency, so that way you know which direction not to be in.
Right.
So as we close out, I just wanted to say, thank you to my brother. Thank you to everybody that supports who we are and what we do. And we definitely got some new joints. The Black Herman and a real good guest. People gonna be surprised. But again, thank you for supporting Super Heru Radio. Thank you, Asar, for doing it. Every donation helps. We're trying to put out books and CDs and albums and all of that. So any donation to help us do that makes it happen, because then we put that right back into the community in terms of and the art. So with that, I say peace and blessings to everyone.
Peace, everybody. Till next week.
Indeed. Look out for Saga joint, man. This shit is hot. We're going to smash this shit. Syndicate will not win. You know what I'm saying? If we all stick together and we focus on what is righteous and what has to happen in order for us all to get what we need to get, and backed by the ancestors in the name of the Creator, the Most High, we already there. you know. So with that, I say ashe. Till next week. Super Heru Radio signing out.
Peace, everyone.